Brilliant. Okay, so it's Felicity from Get Your Rock Out here talking to the amazing Lizzie Hale. How are you doing today?
Thank you so much. You're amazing as well.
Thank you. Let's hope that you're still saying that in like 15 minutes' time, otherwise this could be a bit awkward. It's great to finally meet you at last, and on such an incredible tour as well.
Oh, thank you.
So how has it been? I'm guessing that you've enjoyed it just a little bit.
Oh, just a little bit. Yeah, no, I mean, all of these boys are so wonderful, and you know, we've all known each other for so long, but we've never all been on one tour together. So it's just been, it's been great. I mean, just the camaraderie, and like, we're all so like just rooting for each other every time, and everybody's like, hey, have a great show, and we're all watching each other's shows. It's very cool. The love in these arenas is amazing. So.
And you've been on stage with Alter Bridge as well.
Yes. We'll probably end up doing that one tonight, unless something goes horribly wrong.
Well, but keep everything crossed that it doesn't. If I don't see you, I'll be very worried. But no, I mean,
it's an honor. That was Miles' idea, and Miles and I have talked for years about wanting to do something together, and so we're finally on a tour. So he's like, "Oh, what about this song?" I'm like, "Sure, let's do it." You know, what am I going to say? No, you don't say no to Miles.
No, I can imagine that you wouldn't really want to. But you've got, I mean, I've seen, you know, a lot of support for you guys on this tour as well. So have you been really seeing that audiences have been getting down in time to see you and making sure that they're there?
Definitely. It's actually, it's funny because we know this isn't our show. We're just opening up the show. But when we walk out on stage, everybody's there, and it's a packed, arena. It feels like we're doing a packed, like we're playing to, you know, I mean, obviously we are playing to a packed arena, but it feels like, wow, guys, like, look at us, we're playing an arena. So, yeah, and then 30 minutes are off, we're like, bye. But yeah, no, it's a lot of fun, and everyone's singing, and you know, sometimes, you know, like I'll end up turning certain words or certain phrases over to the audience, and if they're new to us, not many people know the words, but like every time I do this, so far on this tour, everyone's yelling real loud, so it's very cool.
Oh,
and this show, this place in particular, like Manchester in particular, has always been crazy every time we come through here. So I'm really looking forward to tonight.
No, so am I. I think it's just going to be absolutely immense. You know, you just can't beat really arena gigs here, can you? And you guys have just announced another tour for April next year as well over here.
So exciting!
Brilliant.
So exciting. Yeah. So I'm excited. And, you know, it's going to be a headlining tour, so it's going to be, you know, you're going to get a few hours out of us, you know, and I don't know, it's something that we wanted to do before we've already begun writing for another record, and we're going to be taking a little bit of time off before April just to finish that up, and but we didn't want to, you know, go into a new record without like at least doing it all over again here in Europe. So we're excited about it.
No, that's really, really very good. And I think the last time we spoke to you guys was on the March tour that you did back. And so what have you been up to since then? There just seems to have been obscene amounts of
crazy
stuff.
Our schedule has doubled. We've been on the road for over 300 days this year, and it's just been nuts. But it's really cool because it feels like, I don't know, we're all perpetually 14 still inside, you know, so we're still a little immature, and we still have that fire that we did, you know, back in the day. So it just still feels like it's just beginning, you know, for us. So it's really neat, and we kind of took a lot of these milestones as personally for us as a band, and like we just celebrated being a band for 10 years, a foursome for 10 years, and so you know, and then between the Grammy and then everything else going on, it's like, I mean, I couldn't be. This has been a great year, you know. Even personally for me, I feel like this is the year that like everything in my life has kind of come together as well. So professionally and personally, I'm having a great time. You know, if it gets any better, I think I'm going to explode.
No, that sounds incredible. Can you actually take it in though? You've got to the stage where there's just been that much good stuff that happened that you can't physically take it in, or are you still managing to process?
You know, a lot of stuff is still actually surreal. Like, but we are a very stop and smell the roses type band, so we try to take the time to just be like, hey guys, look at this. Isn't this cool? You know, look at where we're at, you know, and we do a lot of like, remember when, a lot of those conversations, like, remember when we were playing to like 2 people and the sound guy, you know, and you could hear, you know, like, you know, the sticks on the floor, you know, it's really neat to like talk to the guys, and just from then to now, and we're still here. It's so cool. So.
Yeah. And playing shows like this with audiences like this.
We haven't killed each other yet, which is a huge feat in itself.
I'm glad to hear it. That will kind of put a bit of a damper on the show, really, wouldn't
I know,
it?
all of a sudden just knocking my brother out.
And you've collaborated with some fantastic people as well, and you just seem to have so much to do with so many different people kind of in the rock scene. And there are so many, really big names that just love you and absolutely love your voice. I mean, is there anybody that you would absolutely sell your soul to work with?
I would love to, this is so funny because this is kind of on the opposite side of the rock genre, but I would love to write a song with Tom Petty. I've been kind of I've been obsessed for years with just his songwriting style, and I just think he's kind of like indisputably cool, and so I would love to work with him, and even if not working with him, I'd love to sing a song with him at some point, just to have that experience. But yeah, either that or Eddie Vedder. I would love to shake your hand, Eddie, not just because I think you're very handsome, but because you're brilliant too, I promise.
So there we go. Next time you're
out too much.
There's nothing wrong with a bit of fangirling. I think a bit is fine. If you dive on him and be like, I love you, then maybe that's a bit too far.
I might have to hold a little bit of that in.
And so what else have you guys got on the cards? I mean, I know you're planning, the new album, but do you have a vague date in mind, or are you just thinking actually
we're taking a good 3 months, January, February, March off, right before we come over here to write for the record, and we've begun writing already anyway, but we just kind of want to solidify it during those 3 months. Man, it's so true. Our first record, we had 19 months to make the record. Second record, we had 6. Now we have 3. It's it just keeps getting smaller. But I don't know. I will probably release it sometime, maybe late summer of next year. So something like that. So yeah, we're just boom, boom, boom.
Completely.
Get it out there.
That's fantastic. And when you're on the road, do you actually manage to write together when you're on the road? Can you do that? We have a decent amount of equipment that we're able to kind of demo, at least crudely demo, a song. But I'm writing a little bit of something every day, especially now that I'm in that mode. I'm like, ooh, songwriting mode. Let's, so there's always something we'll be in catering and obviously thinking we'll have been working on a song or something. So one of the guys will be like say something in conversation ooh, write that down. We can use that for this song. It's those type of things. Or sometimes, we'll be doing a sound check and the guys we'll be jamming on some riff, be like, oh, let's real quick record that into our phone so we don't forget it. So it's a lot of here and there. But then I just moved to Nashville, Tennessee. And finally have it's so funny. I have a water bill in my name. I finally moved out of my parents' place. Pretty really
much.
Scary,
it is scary.
Well, then you sign up for things like your own internet, and you're like, what's going on? I'm a grown
what if I don't make it in time? No. But we have a studio in my place, so every time I go home, we're at least me and my guitar player. My guitar player will come over, and we'll end up doing stuff together. So I don't know. It's we're making it work for what it's worth, and so hopefully we'll have enough to put together a record in 3 months.
And if it doesn't, just pretend that you actually always meant to release an EP.
We'll have the 3 months, and then we come over in April. So you never know. We might end up trying out a few new songs.
Oh, that would be fantastic.
You guys might be the first to hear those.
I think that should definitely happen. I like the idea of that a lot. And so what else does next year hold? You're obviously back in the UK. Where else are you going to be?
We're probably going to do some of the summer festivals that are in, just and also the U.S. as well. And there's been talk, we quite possibly might be going to Australia for the first time. Wow. I know that South Africa has been calling. So yeah, there's a few more continents to tick off our list. But it's just great because it's I never even thought, there's a difference between believing in what you do and knowing you can get there and then it actually happening, because like I said, I've been in this band since I was 13 years old. So it's all of the things that I've always wanted to do, I've gotten to do a lot of those things. And it's weird to think about and think wow, we got to go to Japan. We got to go all around the world. We won a Grammy. We're doing these arenas with Alter Bridge in China. And it's amazing, so. I don't have much to complain about. Besides maybe my brother's dirty socks, which are hanging up now in the bunk.
No,
you can't
that's
do
not
that.
No, you really can't.
Yeah, so RJ, clean up your stuff.
Just throw them all away.
I know.
Then
I've tried that before, and then he just does it again. So it's a little brother thing. For those of you who don't know, my drummer's my little brother, so.
I guess you could always, you could always just burn them every time he, wears them, and then maybe just keep buying him new pairs of socks, and so you could be
exactly. Yeah. Just get a cheap bag of 40 socks, and then just throw them out every day.
What more could you want? Perfect plan. You could get, you know what? You could get sock sponsors.
There you
That
go.
could work. You could,
There you
you could
go.
be sponsored by who? Does anybody even do designer socks?
I don't know. There's got to be a brand somewhere that could sponsor some.
They're probably.
some bands.
Oh, I think that
Socks
you're
and
onto
underwear.
it.
We got to figure this out.
Brilliant. So all you sock sponsors out there,
We're
you know
really
what to
smart,
do.
You know, you all wish you
Yeah.
were this smart.
Yeah,
Yeah,
totally. Oh, well, thank you so much for taking the time to chat. It has been an utter pleasure. We really, really can't wait for the show. It's
Oh,
going to
I
be
hope you enjoy
absolutely
it.
incredible. I have no doubt that I will.
Thank you very much.
Thank you
Thanks for
so
taking
much.
the time.